I'm at a point in my life to where I'm most confident and terrified of my future. But if you ask me what I think my future looks like, when I look back at Lil Zay, I see how bothered I am with life. And I miss that. When times were rough, I didn't know they were rough. I feel as a kid, you feel like you have unlimited days to have fun. And there's not much to worry about. Looking back, I still see a lot of similarities between Lil Zay and Zay now. I'm happy about that. When I was little, I was always told to not grow up fast. So back then, I was terrified of getting older. But then when I got older, I didn't realize I got older. So it's this big old conundrum going on. I'm like, what's going on? When I was younger, I was optimistic, hard-headed, goofy, and obnoxious. And I wasn't embarrassed by that. Grew up loving so many things that I still care about today. Basketball, video games, WWE. And back then, I felt like it was so much easier to say things without worrying how hard it would be to do that thing. You didn't have everyone casting doubts on you. You didn't have everyone trying to say you can't do it, you can't do this. They just thought of you as a little kid with a big imagination. But now when you're someone at this age with a big imagination, they call you delusional, they call you dumb, they call you stupid. So when I was young, they asked me, what do you want to be? And I always say doctor, YouTuber, NBA player. But the last one I really cared about. From a really young age, I fell in love with basketball. I would practice every day, but there's a lot happening in my life to where in elementary school, I wasn't really able to play basketball. Until one day I had enough balls to ask my mom if I could try out for my 5th grade basketball team. And to my surprise, she said yes. So I ended up making the team. I ended up being the best player, and I really felt that everything that I did paid off. We lost every single game. And I didn't care. I was just happy to be able to play. So the next year was my first year in middle school. And in gym class, I'm balling out. I'm hitting all my shots. I got my first ankle breaker. The whole crowd was lit. And then, when it came time to join the team, my mom said no. My mom didn't want me in the environment that team had provided. She saw the kids and she didn't really want me to be a part of that clique. I think she was just scared for me. But obviously, that's not how I took it. I took it as I failed and she didn't believe in me because I lost 11 games last year. And I felt like a failure. What sucks most is that my dad got me into basketball. And everywhere I would go, there would always be some old head talking about,
your boss was going back in the day.
I always looked at my dad as a superhero. Hearing the stories of him going against NBA players and him having a contract to play overseas, which he didn't take, made me want to make him proud. And I feel like I did the opposite. Don't forget, I'm hard-headed. So I'm like, I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. I'm gonna be so good and no one can say no. Think over this. No basketball. And also no friends because I ended up getting put into an honors program called ITA. First 2 years I hated it. No one liked me, had no friends. So I was determined with basketball. But then I had to wait another year because our school was getting restructured. By 9th grade, we finally were in the right building. But in this honors program, the basketball team for the honors program is the same as the high school. And no one in the honors program was playing basketball but me and like 2 or 3 other people. And I was so scared because if I went, no one would know me. The environment would be so weird for me now. So I ended up not hearing about tryouts in 9th grade until the last minute. You know, the combination of me scared of my mom and me scared of the environment and like just not knowing nobody, I ended up not going. I was scared to fail. And at this point, you're thinking, okay, give up. I'm hard-headed. So 10th grade hits, and I work hard and try out for the team. And I did decent on day 1. So I thought. We all huddle up, and they say, okay, day 2, tryouts, tomorrow, half day, get there early. ITA didn't have a half day that day. A kid brings it up. They're like, Coach, what about the kids in ITA? They don't have a half day tomorrow. He's like, oh, everyone who's in ITA, raise your hands. I'm dumb. I don't know why I raised my hand. Some people did. All the ITA kids called us over. He was like, don't come back tomorrow. Don't come back tomorrow. And I'm like, why? He's like, scheduling issues. And when I tell you that was one of the hardest cries I've ever had, Like, even my mom was so sad when this happened. Like, it was just, oh my gosh.
Get it, Zach, get it. Shoot it. Keep going, keep going. Yeah.
So she finally let me play in leagues. And I started doing decent too. I was a little inexperienced at team ball because, you know, all them years, but the skill was there. And then the summer hit. I'm going to camps. I'm literally going 6 hours a day practicing the sport of basketball. Then the day comes to try out. The first day I was nervous, but I made it past. The second day was supposed to be the last day, and I made it past. And he asked me to come back the third day. And on this day, he finally learned my name. He knew everybody's name at this point except for me. And obviously everyone else had chemistry but me. So originally there was going to be a JV team and a freshman team trying out. So all these people are here. But on the last day, coach changed his mind. He's like, everyone who's on the freshman team who's applying for the JV team this year, you're in. Everyone, all the freshmen, you're in too. So then I'm like, what about me? Gone, done, wasting my whole time, 3 days, out the bag. So I'm cut. And at this point, I'm in the 11th grade with no hope. But one thing changed. I grew. Throughout the course, I gained faith in God, completely humbling and changing me. And from practicing so hard in the summer, I learned consistency. This fall was the most rock bottom I could get. I failed. And at this point, I'm sleeping on the floor because I was waiting on my new bed to come. Without God right there, I would have been stuck. And since I felt so isolated in 7th grade, all I had was to find company. And I found company in God. 4 years later, he taught me a big lesson. And that whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. Same innocent mindset I had when I was little. I read the word and I found wisdom. I found hope. And that all I needed was to give it to God and to know everything is possible. But to not idolize the thing you want. See, I focus more on basketball than God. I loved basketball, but from these scenarios, it seemed like basketball didn't love me. But even when I betrayed God, he still loved me the same. Now I finally don't feel like a failure. I'm doing great in school and I love doing YouTube. I finally got the innocence that kept me so alive when I was younger, but with the wisdom that came from the tribulations. What I'm getting at is that I have no idea about my future, and I'm okay with that. I've learned hard work, I've learned perseverance. So use what you've been through to find what you learned. Like when we were kids and we didn't live, doubt dictate everything we did. And use the advice everyone gave us as kids. Do it while you're still young. You know what to do.